Hey girlies, welcome back to No Pick Mishes Allowed. Today we're going to talk about how this Christian lady let a guy stay with her for 2 weeks. Let's keep watching.
Crying over a boy.
Okay, I'm put some lip gloss on first, cause we just gotta get right. I was over there, tearing up a little bit. Okay, I was in a relationship recently. I just got a relationship. It's been about like a week now. When I got with this guy, I really thought that I don't know, within 3 days of us meeting, he invited me out of the country with him and his family. Yeah, he did. He invited me out of the country with his family, and it was a big group of them. They were going to Jamaica. I told him I didn't have a passport because I did, but I had lost my passport. I was like, and the trip was literally less than 30 days away. And his family was like, "It's okay. Like, we'll get you. We'll get it for you. Like, you'll be fine." And I literally got my passport 4 days before we left to go to Jamaica. And I went to Jamaica with him and his family.
Is he Jamaican?
No, he's black. His family's black. His dad is a lawyer. His mom is in the school system. She's a vice principal. They own a daycare. He went to college for. He went to college for. I can't, y'all. My brain is so like my head is flustered from this situation because it's still actively going on. But he went to college for accounting. I mean, I should have known that there was a red flag because although he had a degree in accounting, he wasn't working in accounting, but he was the controller for his family's business. So I got this passport, and the whole time we were kind of like, am I going to get the passport in time? Am I going to get the passport in time? Because I didn't get it until 3 days before. I go to Jamaica with this man, and
Is it a red flag if a guy invites you to a vacation with his family and he just met you? Is that weird, or is that, oh my God, he knows what he wants and he's trying to lock it down? Y'all let me know in the comments.
his family and a big group of their friends. And me and him, I don't know these people. I don't know any of these people. I barely know his family. I barely know him, right? Like we just got together. And for the most part, it was a decent trip. The second to the last day, he got extremely, extremely drunk and he fell and broke his tooth, which that happens. But then he snapped and he went completely ballistic. He destroyed our entire hotel room. He ran around the resort like a maniac. Like people were thinking he was going to get put in jail because of the way he was like acting. And this is a guy that never really showed emotion. He was so monotone and mellow, like never really showed high excitement, never really like none of that the whole time. This is the first time I'm really even seeing emotions from him at all. And he's going, I mean, crazy, running up on strangers, like, and I finally found his parents, and his parents were able to calm him down. And his mother was like, that I should break up with him. She told me to break up with him. She said he needs to come back home. Oh, and I skipped the part where he had started staying with me.
So when did he start staying with you within the month of you guys meeting? What day? Was it day 3 out of 30, day 4 out of 30? When did he decide to stay with you and move in with you?
It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks
So
within us talking.
so 2 weeks into meeting a stranger, you let him move in with you.
Well, at first it was just him staying, and then it just he kept, and we were not having sex either. I'd never had sex with this man one time. He knows that I was celibate.
Before we get to sex about that, I'm just thinking a stranger in your house that you don't know anything about. And you
Yeah,
like, hang out, he could have robbed you, he could have tied you up, is what I'm saying, and he stayed in your house.
yeah, he did.
I want to feel like I'm better than this girl and I'm smarter than her, but unfortunately, at 22 years old, I didn't do what she did, right? But I'm just saying, just the naiveness, right? I'm telling you right now, if I met a guy that I really, really love, I'm not saying like I would move in with him so fast, right? But I'm saying I would probably move in with a guy like relatively fast, like maybe like 6 months, 8 months into a relationship, you know. But what I know now, right, at 25 years old, uh, hell no, you don't want that. No, move in with a guy that you barely don't know, and don't do it, because you barely know that person. You don't know their temper. You don't know if they're abusive. You don't know if they're crazy. You don't even know how long the relationship is going to last. When you move in with somebody, the romance dies down. You get used to each other. You get comfortable. Like the man chasing you is like, it just is non-existent anymore, right? Because you're living with him. You're using the same bathroom, right? You're cooking, you're doing all of these wifely duties, and you're not even a wife. So, take it for me. Like, don't move in with a guy, so quickly. It's not a good idea, especially if you guys don't know each other on a bad day and a good day. It's just not a good idea. Okay. Some people get lucky. I think I'm more lucky than others, as in like the guy's not abusive and crazy. But, that could have been my case, and that would have been on me if I got hurt, right? So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And he was buying me like everything, just paying for everything. Like, I'm not paying for really anything. He's paying for everything. I also don't drive. And that was the thing too, because I told him that I didn't want him to stay with me. And he was just like, I could make your life easier. I'll be taking you to work. Everything's fine. And I was going to his house too, and his family's house, like meeting his parents. So even still, it's not okay. But in my mind, and that I don't know why I thought it was okay. We get back from Jamaica after him going ballistic, and I don't break up with him after him going crazy like that. But then I lose my job. When I lose my job, I had just paid rent. And I said, okay, well, next month, are you going to be able to pay the rent? And he said, yeah, I'll pay it. Within the next week and a half, he ends up breaking up with me.
So he
And
paid the rent and then broke up with you.
he never paid it. So now it's coming up. The rent is going to be coming up again. And that was when he was supposed to be paying it. And he just broke up with me. His
But
family went to my social media. I'm a content creator.
but what I'm not getting, Brooke, is you've only known the man for a month. He
Oh
only
no,
moved in just for a month. So you
yeah.
were paying your rent up until the 1 month he moved in. So why wasn't your finances together for the next month? I don't get it.
So okay. So the thing is, for the next, I had just lost. So I lost my job right before we went to Jamaica.
Okay, and you didn't have any savings.
I did. I did have savings, and I still have some savings now. But I spent a big chunk of my savings. My sister's actually going to the Olympics, and I paid to go to France because he told me he was going to pay the rent. So I paid for my trip to. I paid for all my stuff for France. So I spent a bunch of money to go to France. I'm leaving for supposed to be leaving for France on the 5th, and yeah.
This is why it's so important to vet situations and vet people for a good amount of time, because what happens is, right, people love bomb you in the beginning, especially men. They love bomb you. They take you to nice restaurants. They take you to get your nails and hair and whatever done, right? And then when they get you, then they're telling you they can't do those things for you anymore, right? They probably did hit a hard time. However, they're not even making effort to do those same things for you anymore. So that's why it's important to be stable and not jump the ship when you think that the grass is greener on the other side, because people will show you who they are, especially when they feel like they got you and they don't have to invest in you anymore, and they don't have to fake the funk to impress you. Right? So it's a learning lesson. I have learned the lesson. It's a painful lesson, but it's a lesson to be learned. Take your time with people. Don't just jump ship when you think the gravy's sweet and nice. But anyways, ladies, let's keep watching. There's a lot to learn here.
So that's why. Yeah.
Okay. And he went crazy in Jamaica. He went off. He ran around the whole resort. He cursed people out. You
Yeah.
still allowed him to come back to stay with you and live with you. He was supposed to pay the rent when you guys got back. And then a week later, he decides to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are we now? Because you said it's an ongoing situation.
No, it's not an ongoing. I'm just upset about it.
Okay.
We're not still talking.
Okay. And what makes you emotional? Because this is only a 1 month relationship.
Yeah. Um. Well, I mean, all together, yeah. It was actually, yeah, it was like a month and a half. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess that's why I'm really talking to you, because I didn't understand why I get so attached. Like, why am I so attached? Like, I feel like it was more so just like believing what was being given, and like him giving me, like, buying everything, like him like really taking care of me. And I think that like really stems like my own issues and things that I'm already in therapy for. And I think that's more so why I'm upset, is because I'm trying to understand, like, why am I so attached? Why am I getting so attached to you? I don't even really know you. Why would I why would I let you stay in my house? Why would I do these things? But that's something that like I need to figure out within myself, because he's showing narcissistic behaviorisms, but I have to accept that for in order for it to happen. And to say that he's the first person that I've seen that type of person before that I've dated in the past. So I'm seeing a different person, but it's the same person like that I've dated in the past. So I'm really just trying to understand more so me, like internally, what's going on, and why do I keep like being like liking these type of people?
Yeah, and before we even get to love bombing, like I think you should definitely be in therapy, like because I'm stuck on a safety issue.
Yeah,
Someone being in your space, to
yeah,
me, that means you have no boundaries. That's
yeah.
what that says to a woman or a man. You allow anything to go down. You don't, and it sounds like too like we don't have a standard. So that's something I want you to work on, your standards and your boundaries for safety reasons. And you said you guys were never intimate at all. Y'all never had.
Never, not once. I promise. I have no reason to lie. I never had sex with him one time. And when the day that he broke up with me, he was like, "Well, there's a such thing as sexual compatibility, and we won't know if we're sexually compatible if we don't have sex before marriage." So, I mean,
Girl, do not fall for that stuff. Do not fall for that. That's a trick that men say. So they make it seem like, oh, our connection will be stronger and we'll never know if we don't try. Maybe having sex will make our relationship better. BS. BS. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. And ladies, this is what it looks like when we as women don't have standards and boundaries, right? You fall for everything. When you don't stand for something, you fall for everything, right? That's not the first time you've heard that. I'm sure of it. So that's why it's so important to have boundaries and not to come off as a friendly woman too much, because it's dangerous. And she probably came off as this friendly, sweet, submissive, nice girl, especially with her being Christian. And he probably thought, okay, look at this sucker. She's just going to accept the bare minimum. I'm just going to flaw some things in the beginning to make it seem like I'm a good guy. But then little by little, I will start showing who I really am. Right? And that's what happened here. That's all that happened. And as women, we get excited when we see guys paying for our nails, our toes, our hair. We like, oh, I found myself a great guy, right? But you don't know this man finances. You don't know how he views being a provider. You don't know how he was raised. You don't know his values, his morals. You don't know his responsibilities. You don't know if he pays his bills on time. And all of those things, I'm telling you, all of those things are important to know before you invest emotionally, physically, uh, sexually in a relationship, right? So, anyways, let's keep watching.
So you lived with him, went on a trip with him,
yeah,
came back from a trip.
yep.
He's buying you all of the things.
Bought me a promise ring, everything to not have sex until we were married. Yeah,
Oh, so and it's a promise ring tonight. Okay. All
yeah.
right. I don't know. You seem okay. If I'm being honest, from the outside looking in, you don't seem disheveled or you don't seem upset about the situation.
I think I'm not upset with him. I'm upset with myself. I agree with you when you say like the lack of boundaries. And that's the main thing that I'm in therapy for, is learning how to set boundaries and figuring out how I went from you can't even come into my house to you can. And I mean, like, of course, like, okay, you're letting me stay with you. You told me I couldn't stay with you. Now I'm staying with you. You probably eventually I was gonna have sex with him. And he's like, oh, I done took her out the country. I'm taking her to work. I'm buying this, and she's still not having sex with me. Like, she really not gonna do that. Like, that's the only boundary that you're keeping, and it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm upset with myself. And as I'm talking to you, like, it really is like hearing yourself out loud. And this is why I've been trying to like talk to
I don't know. It's hard to believe because if you don't have a boundary about around someone moving to your house, I don't see you having a boundary about not having sex. That's how that works. So if I will let you into my house, 2 weeks of knowing you, that means I allow anything. There's no walls, there's no guards, there's no working for anything. And that's not me coming for you or anything, but that's my logic.
I mean, I understand.
If I have a boundary there, why would I then have one when you're in my house and I'm in my short shorts and my little intimate stuff?
Yeah. No, I understand, but I mean, we never had sex ever. So that's my truth. And I understand that it doesn't make sense to outside people. And I understand that, like, in my head, I really thought that, I don't know why I really thought this was my person. And he was okay with not having sex with me as well. His problem was I was talking about us not having sex because my content is Christian content. I'm a Christian content creator. So I was talking about going on trips with
Bro, you a Christian content creator and you got a man living up in your house as a Christian woman.
Yeah.
And you're not married. No.
But I wasn't having sex. That was my logic in my head.
It's hypocritical of her to create Christian content and then to live with a man that she's not married to. It's wrong. It's not right. It's just not right. I want to come on this channel called No Pick Niches Allowed and tell you guys that you should wait till you're married to have kids, and you should vet a man properly before giving him your womb. I couldn't do that to you guys. I couldn't come on this channel and have a kid outside of wedlock and the baby daddy not be there, and I'm just a baby mother with no money. My lifestyle isn't upgraded. I'm not treated like a princess. I couldn't do that to you guys. I couldn't, and I mean that. And honestly, if you've seen the past couple years that I've lived, you would know, like, okay, she's standing on what she says. She's made a mistakes, but she stood on what she said, right? And she came back from that situation better and stronger, and she learned her lesson, right? But you cannot call yourself a child of God and not be living like a child of God just because you didn't have sex with that person. That is still a sin, right? That is still a sin. That is still a sin. It doesn't matter how small a sin is. If it's a sin, it's a sin, period. Anyways, let's keep watching.
And it doesn't make sense. Like that, I mean, it is like, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was like, okay. And when again, and the beginning, it didn't start with him living with me. It started with him staying with me. And then he just kept staying and staying and staying.
So if we're saying 2 weeks he moved in, then the beginning was the first 3 days. That's the beginning, technically. If he only moved in 2 weeks of you guys knowing each other, the beginning would have to be the first day or the second day y'all met up.
Yeah, we started going, like, he took me on the date the first day that he met me.
Okay, so he took you on a date the first day that he met you and you let him into your house.
No.
But you said it was at the beginning. So 2 weeks, the second week he moved in. So the beginning would have to be the first 7 days.
Guess I'm not understanding your question.
Yeah, you said he moved in the second week.
Right.
And you said he came in from the beginning. From the beginning, he was with me. He moved in. So I'm assuming the beginning was the first 7 days.
No, he came within the first 2 weeks, like I said.
You said he moved in from the beginning. Brooks, come on now, baby. Come on. I'm grown, baby. I'm grown, Brooks. I'm grown. Brooks.
No, I understand that you're growing. I have no reason to lie. That's why I'm coming on here. I'm more so coming on here to talk to you about my boundaries and like a lack of them. If I'm coming on here to tell you that I let this man live with me, I went out the country with, like, what do I don't have a reason to lie. I'm not lying. I'm telling you exactly what it was. I'm telling you exactly that I had no badge. I'm telling you exactly that I let him stay with me.
You said he stayed with me from the beginning, meaning when you guys just met. So that
Well, I
means
mean,
it
I still feel
wasn't the
like
first.
all of this is the beginning, right? It's a month and a half relationship. It's still the beginning.
No, no, no. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm thinking logically and technically. So if we're just speaking technically it would be the first 7 days.
So you're
Within
trying to
the
say that he
first
lived
seven
with me
days,
within
he
the first
moved
7 days? That's what I'm not understanding.
Within the first 7 days, he moved into your house.
No, it was not the first 7 days.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I'm literally telling you, it was the first 2 weeks. Like it was
I'm,
after the
I'm
first 2 weeks.
okay.
After
I'm just
I got my
listening.
pat. When I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'm just listening to you. I'm literally just listening and
Yeah,
just following up with questions.
right. Oh no, I understand. Yeah. After he gave me the promise ring, after he took me on multiple dates, after they bought my flight, I saw him pay for the flight for me to go to Jamaica. After I seen him book the room, it was after all of those things, like the investments that were being made.
I am going to give her credit because she understands that a man investing in her is incredibly important, ladies. Is incredibly important, right? Let me tell you where she went wrong and where I went wrong in a lot of relationships. When we see a guy doing nice things for us, especially when we're not used to it, we jump the gun, right? We let down our guards. We say, okay, he can be my man, or he just even shows an act of kindness, right? We think, okay, this guy's going to be different. And we let down our guard. We give our body, we give our time, we give our attention, right? But what I've noticed with men, you have to put men through so many situations to see if they're the right fit for you. For example, your tire broke down. You call him, he assists you, right? You know, and I'm when I mention these examples, this is after like the third or fourth date, right? Your dog is sick. He sends money for the vet bill, right? Um, you're going through a mental crisis. He listens to you, right? And so a man will show you in so many ways that he is the one for you and he generally cares about you by how long he invests and how he handles certain situations and that he gives solutions and he is a part of the solution, right? And you have to vet this person for a long period of time. Even after a year or 2 years in a relationship, you still don't emotionally invest 100% because we all know that people can fake who they are for a good amount of time, right? So little by little, you kind of knock down the walls, but you don't knock it down 80, 70% because somebody was nice to you for a month. And I'm coming at her, but I'm also coming at me too because I've done the same thing, right? Because you get so excited and you want to lock this person down, you just jump the gun. Never do that, ladies. That's why they call it love bombing because that person shows the best side of who they are in the very beginning. It's like a representative, right? They're putting on a act so they can reel you in. That's not who they really are, but they know what they have to show you in order to get you, right? Dating is a game. Whether you like it or not, it's a game, right? And that's just life, baby. I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, subscribe and like. I got more videos coming out. Watch out for my workout videos. It's coming out soon. Bye.